Let's go to Mary in Casey, Missouri. What's up, Mary? What's up?
Hey, Dr. John, how are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so just honored to be speaking with you. So I reached out. We have a son. So I'm divorced and remarried. We have a blended family, and our middle child, who's my oldest, is 18, and he's a freshman in college. We are in baby step 7, and so he really wanted to go away to school. He struggled his senior year of high school. And so with grades and that kind of thing.
He struggled academically, psychologically?
Yes. Academically, started to do made some poor choices with drinking and vaping and that kind of thing.
Okay.
My husband and I had a lot of talks with him about, this is a fresh start. We believe in you. And he really wanted to go away. So he did. So he's down in at University of Arkansas.
Okay.
And really, really, really struggled. Classes, just like he's very social, right? So he's high social, didn't get into a fraternity, made a lot of friends, and the social life just took over. And so here we are at the end of the semester. He's on his way home right now and has all Fs. So he has a life coach, and he's worked with her for about a year now. And we've all believed in him, and we really, really want to see him succeed. He really, really wants to go back, but it's expensive, right? And I just at a loss as to what to do. His dad told him he would not pay for last semester, so that's when my husband and I did. So now it's his dad's turn to pay, and it's just really hard because he's failed, and yet. Right? He's only 18, and I believe in him, and I'm just so confused as to what to do, and I'm concerned about him.
Yeah.
He's admitted that he's drinking a lot. I know that he vapes quite a bit. He says all of his friends are vaping, so I'm concerned about his health. I'm concerned about his future, and just kind of lost. So I reached out to you because I think the world of you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I've had this conversation. I can't even tell you, probably 1,000 times in my career with people in your exact situation. So here's what I'll tell you. The greatest gift you could give your 18-year-old son right now is to feel the weight of the consequences of his actions. And that will be hard on you. It will feel like a betrayal to him. But he's 18-year-old man now. As much as he's a kid, he's a child. And you're going to hear me tell other people that their 18-year-olds are children, and I will. I'm telling you, yours is an adult. You're playing a long game with him now. You're playing what does a 30-year-old son look like? And we're going to reverse engineer that. And so right now, it feels like the whole world. It feels like everything's crashing down. You feel like a failure because your kid failed. And what did we do? And could it be this? And is it the divorce? All those things. You can get existential about it, and that's fine and all good. The reality is he went to college. He decided to drink and party and hang out, and he flunked out. He's going to be on academic probation. If it's my son's coming home, and he's going to get a job, and he's going to go to community college and prove to me that he wants to be in school. And the language I use in my house is all about choice. So if one of my son, I hate when parents weaponize interactions with kids, meaning, oh, you didn't get your thing done? Well, you're not coming fishing with me. I don't like that. But here's what I do. The consequence is the same, but the semantics means everything. I will sit down with my son and say, I did this recently. If X and Y and Z does not happen, that is you choosing to not come spend time with me on this trip. And I will choose to be heartbroken because this trip is no fun without you. I don't like hunting or fishing alone without my son. And if you choose to go to bed early or hang out and not get your stuff done, I will be sad that was your choice. And so I'm not weaponizing my relationship. I'm letting him know that the weight of this interaction is on his shoulders. He's got some choices to make. And I would sit down with your son and have that same conversation. I want you to go to college. I want you to go to University of Arkansas where it's a great school and it's great this and a career and blah, blah, blah. Great. So far, you have chosen to drink and to party and to fail. That's the choice you made. And I'm choosing to be heartbroken about that because I know you're smarter than that and I know you're more capable of that. But these are choices you made. If you choose to get all A's at community college, then I will choose to reinvest in your education. But at this point, the choices you have made suggest that you don't even want to be in college. See how that I want him to feel the weight of the decisions and the choices he made. Of course he wants to go back. Of course all of his friends are there. Of course all the girl of his dreams is there. Of course all of the but the choices you made. I want $1 million too, but if I spend all my money every day, then I'm choosing to not have $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the greatest gift you could give him is to let him know that there are consequences to his choices. And to love him the whole way through, by the way. Love him the whole way through. Some parents have to gear themselves up for this conversation. It ends up being so you got it. I wouldn't do that. I'd let him know that you're heartbroken too.
So, thank you. This is really good. Couple different scenarios. He's meeting with his dad tomorrow, and he's asking Dad, I want to go back. Please believe in me. He's written him a letter, et cetera, et cetera. They don't have a very good relationship. If Dad chooses to fund the next semester, which is completely out of my control.
Yep.
Then what?
Then here's what's going to happen. He's going to go back and he's going to flunk out, and they're not going to let him go to college there ever again. Mm-hmm. And so the number of times I counseled students and their parents away from the college where I was getting money for their enrollment so that they didn't put themselves in a position where they could never go again. And by the way, if you flunk out, you've got to report that on every application to another college you ever try to make. And so whatever life coach y'all have, by the way, sounds like they're terrible. Like if I'm paying for a year of a life coach and my kid drinks his way through freshman year, I'm not going to pay that life coach ever again.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what that life coach RS program on the internet. So I don't know. But I would never let my kid go back without a game plan, without really strict accountability. Who's going to walk alongside you? And by the way, I'm a grown up. I don't have time to babysit my 18-year-olds. I want to see all your assignments and dude, you're in college.
Right. That's the thing. Do we have weekly? My wonderful husband has said he can report to me every Friday at 5 or whatever, what his grades are. And I'm like, this just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't feel like he's 18,
And at the University of Arkansas, I guarantee you they've got a counseling center and a tutoring center and a academic support center and faculty tutors and GAs that help the faculty tutors. The chances you have to decide, I don't want to be successful at the University of Arkansas for you to flunk out. That has to be a choice you make. And if you've got learning disabilities or learning exceptionalities, they've got ADA office and the 504, ADA 504 stuff. They've got all kinds of organizations and groups. And the resources are endless. And your son made a choice to flunk out of college or flunk the semester. And so the most loving thing I think anybody does is doesn't set himself up in a position to, you don't buy your 16-year-old a Ferrari. Because they don't need that. I'm protecting you from your bad decision. I want you, if you're going to hit the gas, I want you to hit Honda Accord gas, not Ferrari gas, right? I want you to make an 80-mile-an-hour wreck, not a 280-mile-an-hour wreck.
Well, right. And I mean, he had his car. We had to take his car away. He was driving too fast. We warned him. We got rid of his car.
And similarly,
been reckless.
Yes. And so I don't want him to be put in a situation where he's going to have his 18-year-old plans. I really, really want this. And hey, I believe he really wants it. I believe he got embarrassed. I believe he's ashamed. I believe it was a wake-up call. I get it. I think it was an old Bobby Knight quote, old basketball coach, who said, everybody wants to be a champion. Everybody on the court wants to win that game. But the game's not won on that court. The game is won the year before in the weight room and in the practice room and in the film room
Right.
And so your son really wants this, but he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have the acumen. He doesn't have a success strategy. He doesn't have any. He's had 2 years now, or a year and a half of substandard academic success. He needs to get a couple of wins under his belt. Get that at a local community college, either for free if Arkansas has that program. I don't know what state you're in. Oh, you're in Kansas City, Missouri. If they've got a free community college program, or it's going to be like $50 an hour or whatever, go do that, right? But set him up in a position to get some little wins so that he can choose to make bigger win decisions. And this is one of those, I don't know what your relationship is with your ex-husband, but I'd call him and say, I know I don't have any say into what next semester looks like. I believe the best thing for our son is that he feel the weight of his consequences and that he spends a semester at a community college. Let him show us this is what he wants. I know that it can be pie in the sky depending on what kind of partnership you have with your ex, but I would probably make that phone call. Let him know you love him, your son, and let him know he's got to feel the weight of the consequences of his choices. Thank you so much for the call, Mary. Great question. Great question.